This is Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. Current time 5:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The levels I had mapped off for yesterday was 671.65 to the higher side, and that was more on the higher side. I doubted yesterday that it would actually reach that level today, but if it did, that'd be a much higher probability of algorithms selling in that area and buying up at a lower rate. But it came really close. I don't know exactly why it did what it did when it did, whether it's just the market open or hesitation or already a little bit on the high side, or I know on like when the market's extremely volatile, like whenever I have a number like this mapped off, then it'll shoot up to it real quickly and then reject from it very quickly as well. What I had for a gravitational point, which I never did hit yesterday evening, but to me it appeared like it hit the volume weighted average price, was playing off that, which many times the 50% level from what I have is also the volume weighted average price as well. But this was my math for the gravitational point yesterday was 660.67. If it was going off yesterday's number, then it would have been the bottom of the average daily range. That's what is exactly the bottom for today, was that. And that's automatically generated. It's not like super smart person has come up with that. But anyway, what I would have been looking at would have been this level here, the 663.83, supposed to been the support level last week. That's whenever Trump was talking about more government shutdown and more tariffs and stuff, and it just spooked the market more. So, but that's supposed to have been the support level last week, and it was not. And then it tried to make some supports today. The only reason it did that is previously it's been resistance and support a little bit here and there. You can go back in time and see where it's actually made support or resistance or whatever. But that would have been like a hopeful one, and then if I traded that, then I would have been chopped out and I would have got out of position anyway, and I probably would have said it's not favoring either direction, and I would have got out. So that wasn't, in hindsight, that was not the best spot. Anyway, that's off an old level, and once an old level to me is hit or has done its thing, then it's no longer extremely relevant anymore. It can gravitate up to and hover around and chop sideways. But what I would have been looking for on my chart would have been, if I didn't get in here, which I would have not thought that would have been overall bright, just because of the history of what I've seen. But I would have been hoping that I would have seen some buy volume in here. I mean, it definitely would have been a better opportunity at exactly 117 today. And that showed it went from mostly bearish to a higher bullish signal, and then it tried to maintain that. You never did get much dip below the 50% level, so that's also a good sign. And it would have been easier, in my opinion, to maintain that position and at least hold it till, whenever you see it start to chop sideways or whatever. Which is mostly chop sideways, but mostly trying to gravitate up, I guess. But that's the level I had. That's typically the middle level is always gravitational point. The next day at some point, whether it's, first thing in the morning, late at night, or whatever. But I'll have to do some math here directly and see what it's going to be. Looking at it, it's going to be interesting tomorrow, I'd say. To me, it for algorithms, it maintained above the 50% level majority of the day. It dipped below 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes, something like that. So as long as it's above that level, try and maintain above it, and bounced off the previous days. I don't know if that's an algorithm thing or not. Usually it's like the day of the bottom of the average daily range, which which yesterday was exactly at 658, 89 or whatever, and that was your low of the day. So that's that's a good thing to keep in your under your hat. But I'll do some math and I'll report back on what I think it may do tomorrow potentially. Well, to be honest with you, I don't care for what the math showed up at all. The math I had was 671.65. That's what I had alert set for. Not to buy or sell, it's just an alert. And that's what I was expecting some resistance to be by algorithms. Never did get up to there today. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Again, I'm not super stoked with the math on it, but if I was gonna set some alerts and go for higher probability of what may or may not happen, it'd be wherever the top of the average daily range is. Yeah, average daily range, the top of that also coincides with 671.65. That coincides with that, so that's the number I had today, or yesterday evening for today. So I'd still be looking at that as potential, since it did bounce off of yesterday's bottom of the average daily range. It'd be super clean if this level was up here. That's the red level here is the bottom of the average daily range. It would have been super clean. And this redoes the average daily ranges at 6 o'clock or so. Here in just a little bit, it'll redo it, map it off. And whatever trend it's in is what it will continue to be in, typically. Let's see if this will do anything real quick. I have to pause it. Yeah, it's still mostly an upward trend overall. Well, it's on a downward trend more recently. You can see it stair stepping down here. If it wants to maintain more of a bearish stance though, if this just reverted back and caught all the people that were long is able to get out, or whatever the case may be, right now it's starting to try to stair step down. That may or may not hold, it just depends, but that is well, the bottom side more so is the bigger one. I think at 6 it will be just barely down. The bottom will probably be around 655, and the upper will probably be around 670, which that's what it was today, the high. So that makes sense too. It's just playing off like the previous days and then tomorrow's. I bet tomorrow's, I'd have to see for sure, but it's going to be damn close to what the high was for today. On the 1 hour chart, it's showing up as bearish still on my setup anyway, but it sucks in aftermarket hours because you lose volume. Yeah, harder to tell. But anyway, it is what it is. That's a long video. Hope you're happy, healthy, and well. Goodbye.